Have you ever reached for what you thought was a healthy snack? Something small, something simple, only to later wonder why you weren't feeling better? It's not your fault. For years, we've been told that certain foods, especially nuts, are universally good for us. Doctors praise them. Magazines push them. But what if that advice wasn't tailored to you? Eleanor, 76, tried to do everything right. She swapped cookies for mixed nuts, followed her dietitian's guide, and even added short walks to her daily routine. Still, her blood pressure climbed, her joints stiffened, and she began waking up tired every morning. Her doctor adjusted her medication. Nothing worked until they looked closer at what she was snacking on. What they found changed everything. A few small handfuls a day of the wrong kind of nut were quietly setting her back. And she's not the only one. Most people assume all nuts are healthy, full of protein, good fats, and heart-friendly benefits. And in many ways, that's true. But here's the part they don't tell you. Some of these so-called superfoods can cause more harm than good, especially after age 65. Certain nuts trigger inflammation. Others quietly raise blood pressure or interfere with medications. And what's worse, the ones doing the damage are often the exact same ones promoted in wellness blogs and grocery store health aisles. It's no wonder so many seniors feel confused. You're trying to take care of your body, but your body isn't responding the way it used to. That's not aging. That's a mismatch between what your body needs now and what it's getting. And if Eleanor hadn't caught it early, her story might have taken a very different turn. By the time most people find out, it's already caused months, sometimes years, of discomfort, confusion, or decline. The energy dips, the unexpected weight gain, the stiffness, the forgetfulness. It all starts to feel like a normal part of getting older, when it doesn't have to be. Here's the truth. 4 common nuts, often labeled healthy, can be especially problematic for seniors. But there are also 4 others, less talked about, that can actually help you feel more energized, protect your heart, sharpen your mind, and support better sleep. Today, we're pulling back the curtain. You'll learn exactly which nuts may be silently working against you, and which ones can help you thrive in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. Stick with me, because one of the nuts on the harmful list is in millions of pantries right now, and you deserve to know the truth before it impacts your health. In just a moment, we'll walk through 8 of the most common nuts people eat every day. 4 of them, despite being labeled healthy, can quietly trigger problems for older adults. We're talking inflammation in the joints, digestive trouble that mimics IBS, and even blood pressure spikes that increase your risk of heart complications. But don't worry, it's not all bad news. There are also 4 nuts that can do wonders for your well-being in your 60s, 70s, and even 80s. These are the unsung heroes that help protect your heart, support your brain, ease joint stiffness, and promote steady energy without the crash. You'll learn exactly why these nuts make such a difference, and how to work them into your day without overdoing it. By the end of this video, you won't just have a list of good and bad nuts. You'll have a clear understanding of how each one interacts with the aging body, and how to make food choices that actually support how you want to feel. That means more energy in the mornings, better focus in conversations, easier walks, and maybe even fewer visits to the pharmacy. These are the same insights that dietitians, geriatric nutritionists, and longevity researchers are quietly sharing with their private clients. But today, you'll get them all for free, without the guesswork, without the medical jargon, and without waiting until something goes wrong. Stick around until the end, because nut number 3 might be something you're eating right now without realizing the risks. And nut number 7, it's one of the most underrated tools for better sleep, and most people overlook it entirely. This could be the wake-up call your body has been waiting for. Nut number 1. Harmful. Cashews. George had finally committed to changing his eating habits. He gave up sugary snacks, cut back on processed foods, and started reaching for what everyone said was a smart alternative: cashews. For a while, it seemed like a win. Cashews were satisfying, tasty, and didn't leave him feeling sluggish. But a few months in, something strange happened. His pants felt tighter, his blood sugar readings crept up, and despite walking daily, the scale didn't budge. It kept rising. George gained 12 pounds in 4 months. Confused and frustrated, he wondered, how could something so healthy be causing this? That question brought him, and now you, to a deeper truth about cashews. Cashews are often promoted as a healthy snack because they're plant-based, packed with minerals, and naturally cholesterol-free. But that's only half the story, especially for seniors. Here's what most people don't know. Cashews are high in carbohydrates, much higher than most other nuts. A 1-ounce serving has about 9 grams of carbs. That may not seem like much, but for seniors who are managing blood sugar, that adds up quickly. They also contain oxalates, which are natural compounds that, in large amounts, can contribute to kidney stones, especially in people with reduced kidney function, which becomes more common with age. For seniors like George, who was unknowingly pre-diabetic, this was a dangerous combination. Cashews don't cause sudden health crises, which is why they slip under the radar. But the damage builds slowly. Weight gain despite healthy habits. Energy crashes after snacking. Elevated blood sugar on lab tests. Bloating or mild digestive upset. It's subtle, but over time, those symptoms take a toll. What looks like aging might actually be the body reacting to foods that no longer suit your metabolism. Let's break it down. As we age, our body's sensitivity to insulin tends to decline. That means our cells don't respond to blood sugar as efficiently. Carbohydrate-rich foods, even natural ones like cashews, can cause sharper spikes and dips in blood sugar. Cashews also have less fiber compared to other nuts. Fiber helps slow down how fast sugar enters your bloodstream. Less fiber equals quicker spikes. A moderate glycemic index compared to lower carb nuts like walnuts or almonds. And the oxalates in cashews? For people with even mild kidney decline, those can gradually form crystals that lead to kidney stones, something no one wants to deal with in their 70s or 80s. It's not a conspiracy. Cashews do have healthy fats, copper, magnesium, and a creamy texture that makes them a good ingredient in dairy-free recipes. But here's the problem. These health claims rarely distinguish between what's good for a 25-year-old athlete and what's good for a 72-year-old managing high blood pressure and joint pain. That's why it's so important to make adjustments based on your body, not food trends. The good news? You don't have to give up nuts entirely. And if you really enjoy cashews, you don't even have to quit cold turkey. Here's what works. Limit your portion. No more than 5 to 6 cashews at a time. Measure them out. Don't eat from the container. Pair with fiber. Combine with a few raw veggies to slow down absorption. Hydrate. Drinking more water helps flush oxalates and supports kidney health. Switch it up. Try almonds or walnuts instead. They're lower in carbs, higher in fiber, and more blood sugar friendly. George didn't need to overhaul his whole diet. Once he cut his cashew intake in half and swapped them with almonds and a few pistachios, the weight started dropping. His blood sugar stabilized. And most importantly, he felt like his efforts were finally working. The key wasn't discipline. It was knowledge. You can eat well, age well, and still enjoy your food. But it starts with understanding what your body truly needs and letting go of the habits that no longer serve you. Nut number 2, helpful. Almonds. When Marsha turned 68, her doctor gave her a warning she didn't expect. You're one step away from full-blown diabetes. She was stunned. She didn't eat junk food. She walked every day. She even cut down on desserts. But her blood sugar was rising anyway. That night, she sat at her kitchen table, reading food labels with new urgency. That's when she noticed something. Her daily snack, a small pack of crackers and flavored trail mix, had more sugar than she realized. A friend suggested a simple swap, a handful of soaked almonds. 6 months later, not only had her blood sugar dropped back to normal, but she had more energy, fewer cravings, and even slept better. One change. Big results. Almonds are one of the most balanced nuts when it comes to supporting senior health. Unlike cashews, they're low in carbs, high in fiber, and packed with nutrients that target the exact challenges older adults face. Here's what makes almonds special. Protein. Each handful has about 6 grams of plant protein. Great for maintaining muscle mass as you age. Fiber. Helps control blood sugar and keeps digestion moving smoothly. Healthy fats, especially monounsaturated fats that support heart health. Magnesium, a mineral that many seniors are low on. It helps with blood pressure, nerve function, and even sleep. Vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that supports brain and skin health. Let's look at what the research says. Blood sugar control. Several studies have shown that almonds help lower post-meal blood sugar spikes, especially in people with pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes. Heart health. Almonds can help reduce LDL, bad cholesterol, while maintaining HDL, good cholesterol. That balance is crucial for reducing heart attack and stroke risk. Bone strength. Magnesium plus phosphorus in almonds support bone density, important for preventing falls and fractures. Brain function. Vitamin E is linked to reduced cognitive decline in aging adults. 1 ounce of almonds gives you nearly half your daily need. You might have heard someone say, soak your almonds overnight. And it's not just an old wives' tale. Here's why soaking matters, especially for seniors. Easier digestion. Soaking breaks down phytic acid, which can block nutrient absorption. Softer texture, gentler on teeth and gums. Better nutrient access. Soaked almonds are easier for the body to metabolize, meaning more value from every bite. How to soak almonds. Put 10 to 15 raw almonds in a cup of water overnight. In the morning, drain, peel the skins if you want, and enjoy them fresh. More isn't always better. Ideal amount, 10 to 15 almonds daily, soaked if possible. Avoid flavored or sugar-coated varieties. Look for raw or dry roasted with no added oils or salt. Storage tip. Keep them in a sealed container in the fridge for longer freshness and nutrient retention. Marsha didn't expect such a small change to matter so much. But a few months after switching to almonds, she noticed fewer sugar cravings, more stable energy levels, clearer thinking, lower fasting, glucose numbers on her lab report. Her doctor was impressed. But Marsha knew. This wasn't magic. It was a smarter choice her body could actually use. And for seniors trying to protect their health without overcomplicating their meals, that's the secret. Small shifts that add up. Nut number 3, harmful. Peanuts. For years, Harold's daily breakfast looked the same. 2 slices of whole grain toast, a spread of peanut butter, and a banana. He thought it was a healthy choice. Simple, protein-packed, and satisfying. But over time, Harold started to notice something. His hands, especially in the morning, felt stiff. His knees ached more after walks. Even getting out of a chair started to feel like a chore. At first, he chalked it up to aging. But when his rheumatologist reviewed his diet, she raised an eyebrow. You eat peanuts every day? Harold was surprised. Isn't peanut butter supposed to be healthy? What he didn't realize was that for many seniors, peanuts can quietly contribute to chronic inflammation, the kind that worsens joint pain and fuels age-related disease. Peanuts aren't technically nuts. They're legumes. And while they do contain some nutrients, they also come with hidden risks that are especially concerning for older adults. Let's break it down. High in omega-6 fatty acids. These fats aren't bad in moderation, but most people eat far too many. An imbalance between omega-6s and omega-3s can drive inflammation throughout the body. Aflatoxins. Peanuts are especially prone to mold contamination during storage. These molds release aflatoxins, which are toxic compounds linked to liver stress and immune disruption. Allergy risk. Even in non-allergic individuals, regular exposure can lead to low-grade sensitivities, especially in aging immune systems. Processed additives. Store-bought peanut butters are often full of added sugars, hydrogenated oils, and salt, all of which increase blood pressure, inflammation, and weight gain. Peanuts have been studied for years, and while some research supports heart benefits in small doses, more recent findings raise caution. A study published in 2007 Clinical Nutrition found that excessive peanut consumption increased inflammatory markers in individuals with metabolic syndrome, a group that includes many seniors. Another review from the Journal of Food Science emphasized the aflatoxin risks in older populations, especially those with compromised liver or kidney function. Seniors with arthritis, autoimmune conditions, or digestive sensitivity may find peanuts worsen their symptoms over time. Many seniors turn to peanut butter thinking it's an easy source of protein. And while it's convenient, most commercial brands contain added sugar, which raises blood sugar levels, hydrogenated oils, linked to heart disease, excess sodium, which can increase blood pressure. Even natural versions may still cause joint flare-ups due to omega-6 imbalance. If you enjoy the flavor or texture of peanut butter, you're not out of luck. Consider these alternatives. Almond butter, lower in omega-6s with better balance of nutrients. Walnut butter, higher in omega-3s for anti-inflammatory support. Sunflower seed, butter for allergy-sensitive folks. Still better than peanut butter, but watch sodium levels. Pro tip, always check the label. The best nut butters have only one ingredient, the nut itself. For those without specific allergies, the occasional peanut or spoonful of clean peanut butter won't cause major harm. But regular, daily use, especially in seniors with joint pain or heart risks, is worth reconsidering. Avoid flavored peanuts, honey-roasted varieties, or heavily salted snack mixes. Limit intake to once or twice a week, if at all, preferably paired with omega-3 rich foods to balance it out. Once Harold cut back on peanuts and switched to almond butter, the change was almost immediate. Less stiffness in the morning. Easier walks around the block. Clearer thinking by midday. It wasn't just about food. It was about removing something his body had been fighting against for years, silently. Now, he still eats toast with nut butter, but it's one his joints actually thank him for. Nut number 4, helpful, walnuts. Jean had always been sharp. A former school teacher, she could rattle off historical facts, solve crossword puzzles in pen, and remember every grandchild's birthday without blinking. But after turning 72, something began to shift. She'd forget names mid-sentence, lose track of appointments, misplace her phone twice a day. Her doctor called it normal aging. But Jean wasn't ready to give up her sharp mind. At the suggestion of a nutritionist, she made a small but powerful change. She added walnuts to her daily routine. Within weeks, she noticed the fog lifting. Her focus returned. and the dread she once felt about mental decline started to ease. Among all tree nuts, walnuts have one standout trait. They're the richest plant-based source of omega-3 fatty acids, a type of fat essential for brain and heart health. That matters especially for seniors, because the brain is nearly 60% fat by composition, and it relies heavily on omega-3s to maintain memory, mood, and sharpness. Omega-3s also reduce artery stiffness and support smoother blood flow to the brain and heart. Each handful of walnuts, about 6 to 8 halves, provides alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, the plant version of omega-3, shown to reduce inflammation and protect brain cells. Polyphenols, powerful antioxidants that combat oxidative stress, a key driver of cognitive decline. Vitamin E, supports nerve health and slows down brain aging. Magnesium, enhances sleep, mood regulation, and nerve function. In a large study published in the Journal of Nutrition, Health and Aging, older adults who consumed walnuts regularly had better memory scores and slower cognitive decline than those who didn't. Another study out of UCLA found that walnut eaters performed significantly better on cognitive tests, even after accounting for lifestyle and education levels. Bonus, they're also linked to reduced depression symptoms, especially in older adults, thanks to their anti-inflammatory and serotonin-supportive properties. Walnuts don't just help your mind, they support the whole body. Heart health. Walnuts reduce LDL, bad cholesterol, and improve endothelial function. Bone support. Magnesium and phosphorus work together to maintain skeletal strength. Muscle preservation. The healthy fats help reduce muscle loss, especially when combined with walking or light resistance exercises. Raw and unsalted. Keeps sodium down and preserves delicate fats. Crushed into oatmeal. Adds crunch and flavor without needing sugar. Blended into smoothies. A creamy, brain-boosting addition. Chopped over steamed veggies or salad. Adds texture and satiety. Daily tip. Aim for a small handful, about 7 halves. Soaking them overnight can improve digestion for some seniors. Seniors are often told to take fish oil or eat more olive oil. While both are good sources of healthy fats, walnuts are easier to incorporate into snacks, more affordable than high-quality fish, packed with fiber, which many seniors lack, and unlike peanuts or cashews, walnuts actually lower inflammation. Jean now starts her mornings with a bowl of oatmeal, a sprinkle of cinnamon, and a palm full of walnuts. She feels sharper, more present, more herself. She no longer dreads forgetting things, because she's giving her brain exactly what it needs to stay vibrant. Nut number 5. Harmful. Macadamia nuts in excess. Edith was health conscious and proud of it. She followed the latest nutrition advice, kept her carbs low, and swapped candy for a handful of creamy macadamia nuts every day. At first, the switch felt like a win. She had fewer cravings and more energy. But when her blood tests came back, her doctor was concerned. Her LDL cholesterol had shot up, and her weight had crept higher despite her strict diet. The culprit: overdoing macadamia nuts. There's no denying macadamias are a rich source of monounsaturated fats, the same kind found in olive oil, which is praised for heart health. But for seniors, balance and portion control are everything. Here's why macadamias can become a problem. They're extremely calorie dense. Just 10 nuts can pack 200 plus calories. They're low in fiber, which makes them easy to overeat without feeling full. The high fat content may raise LDL cholesterol in certain individuals, especially when not paired with fiber-rich foods. Like many on low-carb or clean-eating plans, Edith assumed that all fats are fair game. But macadamia nuts can silently derail heart health in older adults when consumed in excess. Her portion sizes were more like 20 to 30 nuts per day, equivalent to a mini meal of pure fat with little to no protein or fiber. That may work for a 30-year-old athlete. But for a 70-year-old woman trying to support heart, liver, and metabolic function, it's a metabolic overload. While they contain monounsaturated fats, they lack omega-3s found in walnuts and flax seeds. They're also low in antioxidants, meaning they don't offer much protection against oxidative stress. In seniors with already elevated cholesterol, regular large servings can exacerbate lipid imbalances. A 2020 study in Nutrients found that seniors consuming more than 30 grams of macadamia oil daily saw no improvement in heart markers compared to those eating lower fat diets. Let's be clear. Macadamias are not toxic or inherently dangerous. In fact, in very small portions, they can be part of a balanced senior diet. Best practices. Limit to 3 to 4 nuts per serving, no more than 3 times per week. Pair with fiber-rich foods like berries or oats to blunt the fat absorption. Avoid flavored versions. Honey-roasted or salted macadamias. Add sugar and sodium seniors don't need. Watch out for unexpected weight gain, despite healthy eating. Cholesterol increases on blood panels. Digestive sluggishness or fatigue after meals. If any of these show up, macadamias could be playing a bigger role than you think. Instead of making macadamias your daily go-to, rotate them with pistachios, high fiber plus melatonin. Almonds, balanced macros, blood sugar control. Walnuts, brain and heart support. After reviewing her diet with a nutritionist, Edith reduced her macadamia intake to once a week and added fiber to her meals. Within a month, her cholesterol began to stabilize, and she felt less bloated and more energized. Small change, big difference. Nut number 6. Helpful. Pistachios. Clara had battled sleep issues for years. At 69, she often found herself staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m., tired but unable to drift off. Her doctor prescribed sleep meds, but they left her groggy and forgetful. Then a dietitian suggested something simple. A small handful of pistachios an hour before bed. Clara was skeptical, but within 2 weeks, she was sleeping soundly through the night. No pills, no side effects, just nuts. Pistachios aren't just tasty, they're nutritional powerhouses perfectly suited to support aging bodies and minds. Here's what they bring to the table. Natural melatonin. One of the few nuts containing actual melatonin, a hormone that regulates sleep. Fiber plus protein. Keeps you full, stabilizes blood sugar, and supports weight management. Lutein plus zeaxanthin. Powerful antioxidants for eye health, critical for seniors. B6 plus potassium. Key for mood stability and nerve function. A 2017 study in Nutrients found that pistachios contain the highest melatonin content of all nuts, helping regulate circadian rhythm naturally. They're also low in saturated fats, heart-friendly, rich in plant sterols, which help lower LDL cholesterol, packed with antioxidants that protect cells from age-related decline. Pistachios may even support gut health, thanks to their prebiotic fiber, feeding good bacteria that influence immunity and mood. When Clara began eating pistachios before bed, her sleep improved, her mood stabilized, her late-night snacking stopped. She also noticed fewer cravings during the day and began losing weight, slowly but steadily. Sleep had been the missing piece. Ideal amount, 1 small handful, about 30 kernels. Best time, 1 hour before bedtime or as a midday snack. Avoid salted, flavored, or roasted in oil versions. Choose dry roasted, unsalted for best health benefits. Tip: buy them in shell. The act of shelling slows you down and reduces mindless eating, a bonus for portion control. One overlooked benefit for seniors: vision support. Pistachios are high in lutein and zeaxanthin, carotenoids that protect against age-related macular degeneration. For Clara, who had begun noticing blurriness while reading, this was a welcome surprise. Her ophthalmologist even encouraged her to keep them in her routine. For seniors, especially those struggling with sleep, mood swings, or weight plateaus, pistachios can be a quiet but powerful ally. They're satisfying without being heavy, energizing without causing crashes, and perhaps most importantly, they bring restful sleep without medication. Nut number 7, harmful. Brazil. Nuts. Frank had heard Brazil nuts were great for men's health, so he started eating 5 every morning. They were big, satisfying, and seemed like a smart alternative to sugary snacks. But within 2 months, his energy dipped. He felt unusually anxious. His hands trembled after coffee. And worst of all, heart palpitations hit without warning. A blood test revealed the culprit: selenium toxicity. He had more than tripled the safe limit in his system, and Brazil nuts were to blame. Brazil nuts are incredibly rich in selenium, a trace mineral that supports thyroid function, immune response, reproductive health. But for seniors, whose kidneys and livers often process slower, too much selenium becomes dangerous quickly. Each Brazil nut contains between 68 to 91 micrograms of selenium. The recommended daily intake for adults is just 55 micrograms. That means just 2 Brazil nuts a day can exceed the safe limit. More than that, and you're in the danger zone. This condition, called selenosis, can sneak up on seniors. Symptoms include fatigue, hair thinning, irritability, metallic taste, nausea, tingling or numbness, heart rhythm issues. In severe cases, it can even lead to nerve damage or kidney dysfunction. Younger people can often process small excesses without symptoms, but aging organs, medication interactions, and slower metabolism make seniors more sensitive to accumulation. Plus, many seniors already take multivitamins or supplements with added selenium, compounding the overload unknowingly. Once Frank cut out Brazil nuts, it took weeks for his symptoms to fade. His doctor explained that selenium stores in fat and takes time to leave the body. "I thought I was doing something healthy," Frank admitted, "but I felt worse than before." Safe amount. 1 nut per day is usually fine, 2 max. Avoid pre-mixed trail mixes with Brazil nuts where you can't control quantity. Check labels. Some granola or nut bars sneak them in. If you want the benefits of selenium without the risk, consider foods like eggs, brown rice, tuna in moderation. These offer safe, balanced levels without risk of a toxic spike. This isn't about demonizing a natural food, but like any powerful substance, dosage matters. And for seniors, moderation isn't optional, it's essential. Frank learned the hard way. But you don't have to. Be smart, be measured, and always know what's in your handful. Nut number 8, helpful. Hazelnuts. Nancy was 73 when she had a mild stroke. Her recovery was steady, but her biggest frustration was the mental fog. She'd forget simple words, misplace things, and struggle to finish sentences. Her daughter, a nurse, suggested incorporating hazelnuts into her daily routine, specifically for their neuroprotective benefits. Within months, Nancy noticed something shift. Clearer thoughts, quicker responses, fewer of those senior moments. "I felt like I was back in my own head again," she said. "I just felt sharper." Hazelnuts often fly under the radar, but they're one of the most powerful nuts for brain and heart health. Why? They contain a unique mix of folate, crucial for brain function and stroke recovery, healthy fats, support circulation and cholesterol balance, vitamin E, protects brain cells from age-related damage, manganese plus copper, minus help reduce oxidative stress in the nervous system. Together, these nutrients create a perfect storm of cognitive support, especially for seniors concerned about memory loss, mental clarity, and long-term brain function. Besides the mental edge, hazelnuts also offer improved circulation, thanks to arginine, which helps blood vessels relax, heart health, lower LDL cholesterol and inflammation, antioxidant protection, helps fight free radicals that accelerate aging, steady energy, fiber, plus good fats, no sugar crash. They're also gentle on the digestive system, making them great for seniors who deal with bloating or irregularity from other nuts. Nancy didn't go overboard. Just a small handful, about 10 to 12 hazelnuts, each morning, often crushed into her oatmeal or blended into a smoothie. I didn't even feel like I was doing something special, she recalled, but my mind felt more awake. That was special. Buy raw and unsalted. Avoid overly processed, roasted, or chocolate-covered versions. Soak overnight, optional. Helps improve digestibility for sensitive stomachs. Blend into meals. Great in yogurt, salads, homemade granola, or nut butters. Pair with berries. Vitamin C from berries boosts iron absorption from hazelnuts. Hazelnuts might not have flashy marketing or fad diet fame, but for seniors, they're a quiet powerhouse. From stroke recovery to sharper memory and better heart health, they offer gentle, sustainable support, without the risks tied to more aggressive health foods. Like Nancy, you may not notice the change overnight, but weeks down the road, you might just feel like you again, more focused, more energized, and more in control. Let's quickly recap what we uncovered. Nuts to avoid or greatly limit. 1. Cashews. Delicious but carb-heavy and high in oxalates, can silently contribute to weight gain and strain on kidneys. 2. Peanuts. Affordable, yes, but often loaded with mold toxins and omega-6 fats that spike inflammation and joint pain. 3. Macadamia nuts. In excess. Trendy and high-fat diets, but too much can tip your cholesterol and weight in the wrong direction. 4. Brazil nuts. Packed with selenium, but dangerous in large quantities. Just 2 a day can be too much for some seniors. Nuts to embrace. 1. Almonds. Blood sugar stabilizers that support bones, heart health, and digestion, especially when soaked. 2. Walnuts. Your best friend for brain support and inflammation control, thanks to their omega-3s. 3. Pistachios. Promote better sleep, eye protection, and mood regulation, all in a small green package. 4. Hazelnuts. Often overlooked but potent for memory, circulation, and recovery after neurological setbacks. Each of these nuts impacts seniors differently than younger folks. And now, you know how to use them strategically. At this stage in life, every bite matters. Food isn't just about filling your stomach. It's medicine, fueling cells, calming inflammation, feeding your brain. It's memory, bringing clarity to your thoughts and sharpness to your recall. It's movement, powering joints, bones, and muscles so you stay independent longer. Making smarter snack choices isn't about giving things up. It's about gaining more energy, more focus, more days where you feel truly like yourself. So let this not be the end of your journey. It's the beginning of a more intentional one. Comment challenge. Type "Thrive" below if you're ready to choose snacks that serve you, not sabotage you. Free download. The first 100 commenters will receive our Senior Snack Smart Guide, PDF, loaded with snack swaps, nut portion sizes, and senior-safe recipes. Next, video tease. Still wondering how these nuts tie into blood pressure? Click here for our in-depth look at 7 common foods that silently raise blood pressure in seniors. One of them is probably in your kitchen right now. Your future self is already thanking you for watching. Like and subscribe to this channel. Let's keep learning, keep choosing wisely, And most of all, keep thriving.